Top Field Recording Podcast, episode 165. Our guest tonight, Sofia Lynch.
That old Steinway in the foyer fell apart at age 15. I remember how you played it, hands connected at the keys. I thought he must know everything. Just a scholar, not an artist, 'cause it doesn't pay the bills. Frank Sinatra, Louis Armstrong, you listen to them still. Guess I never had a chance to climb a different hill. I think that it's alright that the pieces fell exactly how they're meant to lay. It wasn't long to realize that I never had a chance turning out some other way. Everything I do is because of you, taking all your cues, my mentor and my muse. See you as a kid, armed with only words, stepping off the train, too naive to hurt. So I thank God you got out of Gettysburg. Get together as a family in the house you used to own, and my mother swears it's haunted 'cause it smells like your cologne. Pennsylvania always felt like home, and the Steinway in the foyer was converted to a desk. Now it sits there in the shadows, only dust would play it next. You'd still correct its form 'cause you know best. And I think that it's alright that the pieces fell exactly how they're meant to lay. It wasn't long to realize that I never had a chance turning out some other way. Everything I do is because of you, taking all your cues, my mentor and my muse. See you as a kid, armed with only words, stepping off the train, too naive to hurt. And I thank God you got out of Gettysburg. Put your life on a map, see where it leads. All paths go back to me, wishing I could go back, watching you like a screen. God, why do you have to leave? Now I'm obsessed, complete your regrets, your unfinished melodies. Ooh, oh, oh. And I try to be alright, 'cause I know what you gave up to give me a chance at this life. I didn't mean to decide, but my soul is running for it. Got my mind and both my hands tied. Everything I do is because of you, taking all your cues, my mentor and my muse. See you as a kid, 1944, music in your veins, chasing after more. So I thank God. I thank God. I thank God you came back to Gettysburg.
Woo!
Yeah.
Oh, man. Wow.
That was awesome.
Great job. Sofia, my goodness.
Hi, how are y'all?
We're
That was
great
awesome.
now,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
That's
Yes.
a good way to start a Monday night.
Heck yeah.
It is Monday. Ugh. That was excellent. Beautiful songwriting. I mean, just so visual, you know? Love it.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Love it.
Yeah. It was amazing. Yeah. And I listened to a lot of your songs on like Spotify, and I love the production of those. So I was wondering how it would translate to like acoustic, but yeah, it was amazing.
No need to wonder, huh?
No, no, it was awesome.
It's always my goal. I always want, when I'm like recording or collaborating with producers, I really want to make sure that all of the songs or the final product, the final master is still going to sound good if it's stripped down acoustically.
Well,
I like that approach.
Certainly does. Well, before we get started, I got a shout out to my buddy Bobby on the route. We got some special bourbon tonight, so cheers! Thank you for driving in.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
My beautiful bride over there on the ones and twos on the cam. Thank you, babe, for filling in. Cheers, 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 Brent, with your water.
Coffee.
Coffee. Okay.
There you go.
S3. Does that say?
Hey man,
What does it
that's the software company for my GIS software at work. I got that at the conference last year.
I guess we should say also, this is Brent's first time in a hosting seat. He's usually over in the corner.
Heck yeah.
Hey, I'm moving up at Top Hill.
Man,
I'm usually the guy behind the scenes over there.
Right, well, you do that to yourself though, because we'd always want you up. But you're like, just stay behind the scenes, which I understand.
I'm a behind the scenes kind of guy.
You're a behind the scenes kind of guy.
I'm not going to go easy on you just because it's your first time.
So, Sophia, what we always ask the first timers here is just kind of take us back to your earliest memories of music, even back to childhood. And when did you know it was going to be important to you and something that you wanted to do for your life?
Well, I come by it honestly. Both my parents are manufacturing engineers. No, but my mom, when
they manufacture guitars? Or how's this
no, definitely not. But my dad played in marching band in high school. He's always loved music. He's always loved musical theater. He took me to plays as a kid. My mom is and was and still is an opera singer, and she is just much more talented than I could ever be. But both of them didn't want to pursue music. They wanted to have a family. I don't think they really wanted me to pursue music, if I'm being honest. But I wore them down eventually.
Yeah.
I started singing when I was about 5 years old, and I started playing guitar when I was 9. And from there, I always loved writing. I knew that I wanted to write songs. I recorded my first EP when I was 14 so that I could take it up to Nashville for an open mic night.
And you grew up in Murfreesboro?
I grew up in Columbia, South Carolina.
Oh, close enough, yeah. No. Columbia, South Carolina. No kidding, okay.
My mom, when I was 13, I told her, Mom, can I go to Nashville? Mom, can I go? Mom, we should go to Nashville. Hey, Mom, have you heard of this town called Nashville? It's really cool. And she told me, she said, Sophia, fine, I will take you if you write 50 songs. And she thought that was her get out of jail free card. She was like, this 13-year-old is never going to do that. And I came back to her a month later and I said, book the hotel now. I finished my songs, Mom.
Oh, that's crazy.
My gosh, 50 songs. I mean, looking back at them, how do you judge them? What do they sound like? I
try not to judge them too harshly, but it's hard not to. I'm definitely not playing them on this podcast.
That is super young to be writing as much. I think 9 years old is when you started writing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you started singing at 5, writing at 9, when did you start playing guitar?
I was 9.
So guitar and writing kind of came together?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what were you, I remember seeing a little bit of influences, but what were you listening to? What was inspiring you to want to pursue this?
I think like a lot of girls who were born in the early 2000s, Taylor Swift in her country era really inspired me a lot. That was when I knew I wanted to play guitar. I had taken piano lessons as a kid, but I saw her writing her own music, singing her own songs, and I thought, oh my gosh, I have to do that. I didn't even know that was a job.
Well, she was doing it 14.
Exactly.
She was so young.
And I really feel like getting to...
Just to be writing at such a young age, who all were you listening to?
Okay, sorry about that.
I'm surprised I remember the question. What are you talking about? I really had to think about it myself. You stumped me for a second.
I had my parents just listened to tons of music growing up. I listened to Dave Matthews Band, which inspired me. He's a great guitar player. Growing up, I went to a Phoebe Bridgers concert with my dad in 2017 when she opened for Ryan Adams, and that was just seeing her perform at that age was a really formative experience for me. Getting to see like other young songwriters succeeding, all of those. Like Phoebe Bridgers, Sarah Bareilles, Taylor Swift, all of those people have really influenced me. Female songwriters are.
It's interesting because I have a daughter that's your age. She grew up listening to Taylor Swift and because of my wife Paramore and like these powerful female influential songwriters and musicians, which I always like because I'm straight out of the book too. I love music. I listen to everything. And Taylor's always just been such an incredible songwriter at such a young age. And just like kind of listening to that first song, you don't get that by liking somebody. You know, that takes time and ironing out the craft and continuously, it has to. You can't, I don't think many people can write like a song like you just wrote.
Come with the structured melody lines like that. Yeah, no way.
Yeah, it was beautiful. So like, where, how new was that last song that you wrote?
I wrote Gettysburg about 5 months ago, so it's pretty new. It hasn't been recorded yet. I wanted to play it for you guys because I knew that I listened to some of your other episodes, totally internet stalked you before I got here. But I know that you guys ask about what draws you to music, and that song is about my grandfather and about how he played piano. And he was a really influential figure in my life, just teaching me how much he loved music. He passed that on to his son, my dad, my whole family, even though there's been no one else who's pursued it as a career. My whole family loves music, and that's how I grew up. I grew up at concert venues. That's what my parents spent their disposable income on. So yeah, I really have I love the craft. It's what I spend all my time doing now. It's the best.
So also a lefty we noticed, right?
2 in a row. That's crazy.
That's
I like that guitar also.
Thank you.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
Awesome. Yeah, I want to hear about that.
So this is actually my first guitar. I bought it with said grandfather when I was 10 because my first guitar I got, it was a 3/4-inch guitar that my parents paid for. Then I started doing gigs and saving my own money so then I could buy my own guitar. So I went with my grandfather. He found a store with a left-handed guitar. This is a Washburn.
Ooh,
and
I like that.
Eventually I got another guitar. I got a Taylor, which I also love, but I've always loved my first guitar. So I asked my friend in high school, which maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe it could have ended badly. I asked her to paint it.
She nailed it.
Yeah,
and she did amazing. Cool. Just one of the most talented people. Her name is Ann Heiler, and she's still in South Carolina.
Yeah, that's cool.
And she did incredibly. I can still play it.
That's the most important part.
Exactly.
The painting's amazing.
I told my parents, I was like, yeah, I had my friend, she's going to paint my guitar. And my dad said, you let her do what? But I got it back and it was great.
Nice.
It's like Dad I was told her she could either paint the guitar or give me a tattoo. Which one do you want? Is the guitar
exactly.
cool? All right, sweet.
So I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
So I have to ask, so the 50 songs that you wrote that young, with not a lot of life experience, I guess. So where did you draw inspiration for themes for the songs, or?
I did write a lot at that time about what was happening in my life, or kind of what I imagined I wanted my life to look like as I got older. And, I wrote about relationships that I had never been in and places that I'd never gone to. But I'd planned to. I wanted to. So when I was writing those songs, I think some of them, I'm obviously proud of them, but some of them lack that authenticity that comes with lived experience. But it was cool I feel like I very quickly got not my worst songs out of the way. I hesitate to call them my worst songs, but I feel like I got my early ideas out of the way very quickly. So I was able to kind of graduate onto more complex themes at a younger age.
That's interesting though, because I think most people write based on actual life experience. But that's interesting to hear you say, like, you're kind of thinking forward of what you want your life to be or places you want to go. That's cool.
Well,
It's different.
It's probably
Yeah.
like it has to do with that stage in life too. At 14, 13, you're such a dreamer because, number one, you're finishing middle school. Middle school is always a nightmare. It doesn't matter if
worst.
even a good experience is a
Yeah.
nightmare in middle school. But you're like, and remember we talked about last week, I think, about being 21, 22, probably like right where you are now, on the cusp of finishing college, and really dialing into who you are as what you're going to do with life and all these realities of things, to where when you're 13, there is no reality.
Mhm.
It's complete
Mhm.
dreamer mentality. So it's interesting to see. Do you ever look back at those songs? Because sometimes it's hard to even look back at that stuff. But do you look back at that or listen to something or like read lyrics and remember where you were and how big your eyes were to the world at that point and how new everything was?
Yes. Every time I will go back and I'll listen to. I try not to listen to my old stuff too much because I'll be a little too mean to my younger self. She doesn't deserve that. But I'll go back and listen, or I'll go back and find old songs on my drive, and I can remember where I was when I wrote all of my songs. I was mostly in our guest room in this little house in the suburbs in Columbia. I remember what I was feeling. I remember who I wrote it about. If I had a crush on somebody, and then I wrote a song about how we were like married in an alternate life, like delusional behavior. But I remember all those feelings, and when you're a teenager, even still, I still feel this way now. Like you feel things so intensely, and you think that the way that you are feeling in that moment is gonna last forever. And I think that a lot of like emotionally powerful songs can come from that, even if lyrically they were written by a 14-year-old.
Yeah, definitely. Well, speaking of lyrics and written, you want to play us another one?
I would love to.
All right, tell us what you're gonna play us.
All right, this song is actually out right now. It's called Lately. It's the title track off of my debut album. I put that out in 2020 when I graduated high school.
Jeez.
So yeah, this one is about a real experience, about real high school drama. So you can enjoy all of that.
Awesome.
I get excited when you cancel our plans, and I don't understand why you don't understand. I don't like kissing you or holding your hand, and I don't understand why you don't understand. And it's not hard to let you go, but how am I supposed to let you know I'm not in love with you lately? Do you care that who you used to be is fading? It's not fair, stop making me feel like I'm crazy. If we fail, I'm not in love with you lately. Baby, I'm not in love with you lately. Don't got opinions with your head in the sand, and I don't understand why you don't take a stand. It's not my job to make you feel like a man, and I don't understand why you don't understand. And it's not hard to let this go, but how am I supposed to let you know I'm not in love with you lately? Do you care that who you used to be is fading? It's not fair, stop making me feel like I'm crazy. Give me air, I'm not in love with you lately. Baby, I'm not in love with you lately. Oh, oh. not hard to let you go. But how am I supposed to let you know I'm not in love with you lately? Do you care? Who you used to be is fading. It's not fair. Stop making me feel like I'm crazy. Give me air. I'm not in love with you lately. Baby, I'm not in love with you lately. Do you care that who you used to be is fading? It's not fair. I don't need anyone to change me. Give me air. I'm not in love with you lately. Baby, I'm not in love with you lately.
Yeah, such a great song.
You have an ability to write a hook. My goodness.
Thank you so much.
My goodness.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, are you getting ready to graduate from college? Is that where you're at in life right now?
I will be done in like 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
it's a little scary. It's
That's
very
huge.
exciting. I'm moving to downtown Nashville, so that I won't be in
I hope you got some
Murfreesboro anymore.
roommates.
Believe me, I do. I am working at a management company now in Nashville, which is exciting. So that at night I can do stuff like this.
So, what are you? What are your plans right now as far as music goes? What did you, if you don't mind, what are you getting your degree in? Is it music related or is it business related? So what?
I am getting a commercial songwriting degree.
That's
So
unbelievable.
that is what I studied. I got a minor in classical music studies to get some of that opera itch out that I inherited from my mom.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so I majored in commercial songwriting, was able to take a lot of music business classes that will hopefully help me as I keep trying to play more shows, reach new listeners. And then in order to pay rent, I'm working on the business side of the industry, which is really exciting.
I was going to say that has to be huge for you anyway as a songwriter and an artist. I mean, I would almost think you have a leg up as far as being able to know that side of it by the end of this. I'm sure you're being new. Are you new into that side of it? Are you interning right now, or?
I have done, so I'm actually wrapping up my internships. I had one at a studio in Nashville and then one at a publishing company in Nashville, and that actually led to my current job at the management company. It was so surreal getting to, or maybe surreal isn't the right word, getting to work at these different companies, having different experiences. I was at the studio that I interned at, and Keith Urban walks in.
What?
So just like, and
I think you mean Keith Urban.
yeah, Keith Urban. And you just have to be cool. So those kinds of experiences, like getting to do that through my university, I felt so lucky to be able to do. And I'm so glad, Mom, if you're listening, I'm so glad you made me go to college. I really didn't want to go. And she was like, that's too bad.
Well.
And I'm so glad that I went. I met so many people that I still collaborate with now. I met so many professors that have really helped me with my own artistic journey. And I've just gotten so many cool opportunities from being at MTSU, which is a shout out. It's a cool school.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. Number one, being your mom on the other end of that, thinking, knowing that music is doable if you do it the right way, and to do it the way that you did it, and her kind of putting you in the position and making you do that is great for you now. Because like you said, it's put you in such a interesting position and point in your life to starting that company or starting with that management company. And are you going to, so what is envisioning like the next year of your life? Okay, you graduate in 2 weeks, you're free of all the study time and having to worry about all that. You are focusing on the 6 p.m. on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that look like for you? What do you envision that? Do you envision it being on the strip or off the strip doing original stuff, or all of it? What is it? What are you thinking?
Yeah, so I'm working on a couple of things right now. I'm working on an album or an EP, depending on how many songs I decide to end up cutting.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping that that's going to be, the first single is going to be out in June, which is really exciting. It's called
Okay.
Kill the
Nice.
Queen.
And is this the first release since
2021?
21?
So
Okay.
it'll be over 2 years, and it's been hard not releasing music.
Yeah.
I've been like a little sad about it, so I'm really excited to get back into that, play more shows to promote my music. And then as I keep working on this album, I'm hoping that it's going to be out by the end of 2023, and just continue to play shows. I'm hoping to go on tour in the next couple of years, opening for a larger act. That's something that me and my manager are working on right now. She really wanted to come tonight. She couldn't be here. She's very sad about it.
Oh, I wish she could be here.
But yeah, really just hitting the ground running with every strategy I can to make sure that as many people that would want to hear my music have the opportunity to.
Yeah. So you just got done playing the Bluebird, which is I think anybody that would be listening to this podcast probably knows what the Bluebird is. But if you don't, Bluebird Cafe, just a legendary spot in Nashville for, I don't know, what, 50 years now? 60 years? Who knows?
Yeah.
We've been down. We've done the Bluebird thing before, and it's just, it's different to be able to play it. So what is it like to have like a feature spot in a songwriting collab? What it was, a songwriter's night? Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was a writer's night. ASCAP does one night a month where they feature songwriters. So they did an MTSU songwriters night. So my songwriting professor reached out to me and asked if I would be interested.
Okay.
He said, "Hey, would you want to do that?" I said, "Of course." Yes.
How many songs did you get to do?
I got to do 4 songs. I played Gettysburg. I played Lately. I played Kill the Queen, which you guys will hear.
Nice.
And I just had the most amazing experience. I'd played there for an open mic night when I was younger, and it was on the stage. But when you're in the round at the Bluebird, there are tables on the stage, and instead you're in the center of the room.
Okay.
And the 4 songwriters are in a circle. So it was me and my peers, my classmates, who I'm very close with at this point. They're all really talented songwriters. I was so lucky to be able to play with them. I'm closer to them than I am to you right now. And we're all just staring at each other, and there's people all around us staring at us. So it feels a little bit weird because you're looking at the other songwriters, and everyone else is looking at you, and you're like, "Oh, we're here. We're at the Bluebird." Okay.
And it's tight too.
Yeah.
It's a low ceiling environment.
Packed.
It's tight.
The show sold out in 2 minutes.
What?
Just because, and obviously weren't me and the other songwriters. We're not famous. We're still college students. So it's just everybody wants to go see songwriters at the Bluebird. So it feels very surreal. You're like, okay, I really can't mess this up.
That's so cool.
That's awesome.
But it was great. It was so great. There were people afterwards that came up to us and asked to take pictures with us. I felt like a celebrity. It was very cool.
So what do you feel like, Nashville is a grind of a city as a musician, or from the outsider's perspective looking in, what does the support level look like, or feel like, maybe is better the word? Have you experienced enough of that to kind of feel that yet? Is it a supportive community? Do you feel the fight for opportunity from other people? I don't know what you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm.
Competition.
Is there like a level of competition that kind of keeps people at odds, or do you feel like it's just completely supportive, or how are you feeling about that so far?
I think it definitely depends on the people that you surround yourself with. But the Nashville music scene is actually a pretty small community for how many people are there. And most people are cheering each other on. Mm-hmm. I've found that most of the songwriters and industry professionals who have succeeded in their field, they want other people to do the same. They want other people to do well. so I feel lucky having graduated. I've met so many people through my internships, through playing shows, through just going down to Nashville and eating dinner and striking up conversation with the people next to me. I've met so many songwriters, producers, audio engineers that I still keep in contact with now, and we still meet up for coffee once a month, and we're still working on projects together. So I have found the Nashville music scene to be a really welcoming, collaborative space. But again, I think I got into it the right way. I think that being in, again, not to make this sound like an ad for college, but I think being in that program and having the opportunity to go to networking events through the school was very, very helpful.
Do you, I don't know, I certainly wasn't smart enough to do it at 21 or at your age, but do you kind of look, are you able to take a step far enough back at your age and look at the landscape of what the music scene looks like down there? And are you able to see that maybe it's more building relationships and building that supportive community within relationships that you make that kind of give that support net? Does it look like that down there? Does it or does it look different? I don't even know what that question really is, but
no, I get what you mean. I've definitely, and again, I've been lucky with my experiences. I've found a lot of not old, but like older female songwriters, people who have graduated college or have been working in the industry for a few years, who have been so kind to me, who have co-written with me and given me contacts for producers. Yeah, I've been really actually pretty surprised by how welcoming everybody is in Nashville. And again, I'm sure like you'll always meet people who suck in any industry.
Of course, absolutely.
But for like the vast majority of encounters I've had, people seem to be excited about the fact that I'm a songwriter. People seem to be excited about the fact that I'm a musician. Whereas not necessarily, obviously, Columbia, South Carolina is not a music city, but I would tell people that I wanted to be a songwriter there, and they would go, yeah, sure. Okay, that's not a job.
Proved them wrong. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. You're doing it the right way by building those relationships. And I can tell you're passionate about it, and people probably take you serious because you are so passionate about it. And I guess going back to your parents, so I guess, after the 50 songs, they've been supportive ever since, it sounds like. And
yeah, they're really, my parents have always been really supportive, even when I think they didn't want to be. Because I was talking to my mom about this a couple weeks ago when I got offered my big girl job. I called her and we both screamed on the phone because we were so excited. But she told me, she was like, I was a little worried. I was going to maybe tell you to pick something else, but I didn't say anything, and I'm glad that I didn't. I was like, Mom, if you had said anything, it wouldn't have changed my mind.
And as a parent, I'm sure the thing that she wants more than anything is for you to be happy and follow your dreams and do the things that, even if you don't get paid, even if you have to have roommates your whole life.
Exactly.
It's like, look, are you happy? I think that's what any parent wants as much as anything. So, like, what does songwriting look like for you now? Do you do a lot of co-writes and collabs, or do you do a lot of stuff on your own, or is it a time-based thing to where you kind of set aside time, or is it just based on whenever you get an idea? What does it look like?
Definitely a lot different than when I was younger. I would just let the muse strike me.
Yeah.
But now I co-write more than I ever thought I would. I'm co-writing 2 or 3 times a week, either with people I go to school with or other people in the city that I've made friends with. And I used to be so terrible at co-writing. I used to be so bad at it, and I was like, you know what, maybe this isn't for me. But I was forced to do it at school, and I got so much better at it. Again, I just need to stop advertising college.
Hey, no, it's good. We believe in college here and education, don't we, buddy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Some of us pass, some of us don't.
But yeah, I'm doing a lot of co-writing, a lot of collaborating. I still like to try to find time. I always try to do one song a week that I've written by myself, whether it's good or whether it ends up being something I think is terrible. At least if I've completed a song that week, I feel like I'm moving forward and kind of exercising those creative muscles. Yeah, I'm just trying to write as much as I can, which honestly isn't that hard because it's what I do most of my free time.
What do you do with those songs? Even if the bad ones, do you put them on, record them on your phone, or do you just go, all right, it's done, put it in the folder and move on because it's out. I got it out of my system.
If it's most of the songs that I write are not songs that will end up getting recorded, I end up not discarding them, but I have a drive for my songs. All of the chords are there, all of my demos are there. And sometimes I'll go back to them, I'll rewrite them, and some of the songs that I've released are songs that I wrote years before and then came back to them and fixed them up. Yeah, it just kind of depends on whether I feel like it's something that other people need to hear or whether it was something that was maybe just written so that I would feel a little bit better about myself that day.
Yeah, just kind of like a FU World song.
Yeah, exactly.
And do you normally start like just with the acoustic guitar, or do you come up with melody lines sometimes separate? Because on your recordings, there's a lot of production on those. But does it start with the acoustic guitar most of the time?
I'm mostly now writing on the acoustic guitar. I was in this little phase where I would only write on piano.
I was going to say you had a lot of stuff that was piano based on that.
Yeah, and I'm not nearly as good at piano as I am at guitar. If I even am good at guitar, who knows?
As long as you can do what you need to do, you are.
But I've gotten back into writing on the guitar because I do think, like I said at the beginning, I want all of my songs to still have that singer-songwriter vibe, even if they're big pop productions. I want you to be able to imagine them stripped back or be able to hear them stripped back and not think, this is super weird.
So is it harder for you to convert a song you write on piano onto the acoustic?
Honestly, it kind of depends. Sometimes if it's a guitar song, I'm like, this can't be played on piano. It's a guitar song, duh. I don't know. I have strong feelings about it. And some songs are piano songs and they're not guitar songs.
Do you find writing on piano helps in the melody writing more than the lyric writing?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I think so.
Just kind of lends it more to send you in places.
Absolutely. I get to be a little bit more creative, I think, on the piano with it. Probably because I don't know the instrument as well.
So piano is your second instrument? Okay. Yeah, I always, not that I ever write on piano or anything, but it just seems like because it's all right there in front of you, and you can write it. It kind of writes itself sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the one thing I do, like melodically, the way you write is so sweet to the ear. If that makes sense. It's just
it is.
Because I love a good melody line. He's a lyric guy. I'm like a music guy and melody guy, I would say. And there's something about a good melody that plays like an instrument to me. And your melodies do that. And your vocal choices. That's another thing I wrote down. I love your vocal choices. So have you found like writing now compared to when, your younger self, has your melody line and your knowledge of music and songwriting changed the way that you write, especially like melodically? I'm sure lyrically, of course, you've matured and have grown, and that's going to evolve with time. But do you think like there were things you were hearing when you were 14 that you still hear now that make sense, or do you think all of it has been an evolution?
I think that obviously there are themes to my music. I think I'm always talking about, feelings of uncertainty and trying to find your place and wanting to be accepted. All those super fun topics.
That's a space where songwriting lives, though.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Because I think everybody can kind of relate to that sort of
100%.
vulnerability and that confusion. I feel like it's a universal feeling. All of us kind of have it at some point in our lives. But definitely as I've gotten older, I think that my songs have gotten more introspective. I said that I used to write about how I wanted my life to look like, how I would imagine my life. And I'm definitely writing more about how my life as it is now. Which is either, again, like very exciting, a lot of great things happen, and also a lot of bad things happen because I'm in my 20s. That's
life.
how it goes.
It's life, man. Life is weird, and it gets us all on certain days.
That's just pretty much every day is me calling my mother and just being like, why does how does it work like this?
Yeah.
Is this what it's like all the time? She's like, yeah, that's
what it's been like.
That's what it's been like the
It's been
whole
like
time.
this. It's been weird, hasn't it? Yeah. You're definitely at a very, very fun, interesting, introspective. Your songwriting is going to be very interesting the next few years because your growth as a person coming out of school into this job, into downtown living, into the grind, with an ability to put pen to paper that is unique and very, very honed. I think your skill as a songwriter is so honed and sharp. And that's what everybody on the strip that plays all those gigs, that's what they yearn for. They want to be the one that plays and sings the original stuff. But not all of them have that ability. You can go, it's a dime, down in Nashville, it's a dime a dozen to see somebody play a guitar that you walk in and go, that's the best guitar player I've ever seen. Then you walk 6 things down, you go, that's the best guitar player I've ever seen. That's the best fiddle player I've ever seen. But take them out of that setting with an acoustic guitar and their own thoughts and imagination and lyrics and tell me where you are. I don't think that's a skill that most can touch. And you have that. You have a great skill set. I just love what you're doing. I'm super excited to see what you do the next few years, for sure.
Thank you, guys.
All right, you got to do 3 questions, Brent.
So we're going to do a song first?
No, we'll just do the credits.
We'll do the questions.
Yeah. Oh, I hit a button. What'd I hit, man? Don't touch none.
You got a sound effect board?
No, I wish we did. We need one.
That would be so cool.
There we go.
All right.
Oh, you know them,
I know
you?
the questions. I don't need the paper.
I still don't know them, man.
Okay, these are Brad's questions. So this is Brad's studio. He's up in North Dakota looking at the Northern Lights. He sent us a picture this morning.
Yes.
Oh my God, it was amazing.
That's insane.
So did you, sidebar real quick, they could be seen from Kentucky yesterday. We're too close to the city lights. It could be seen in 30 states. There was a solar flare last night, and the Northern Lights could be seen in 30 states. I didn't know.
Is that why? Because of solar flare?
Yeah, there was like a solar flare that caused, you could see the Northern Lights in like the whole northern part of the U.S. Like
an hour from
between Kentucky and Bowling Green, they were seeing the Northern Lights last night.
Not like North Dakota.
I didn't know.
We were out there.
We're too close to the city. We wouldn't have seen it here because of the city lights. Yeah, we're too close to the city.
You're the highest point in this county. You couldn't see.
She may have been able to see them in
Nashville,
Murfreesboro.
No,
maybe.
I don't know.
Okay,
there's more lights down there.
3 questions. We have to do this for Brad, or he'll fire us. Okay. Okay. The first question is, what is something non-musical that everyone should know about you?
Oh my gosh, I love to cook.
All right.
Nice.
My dad taught me how to cook because he's great at it.
Okay.
And baking as well. I'm also a huge fan of that. Every year.
Like treats?
Baked goods.
I love treats.
Nice.
Every year for my birthday, my dad would make, it was our Lynch cake. It's a secret family recipe, secret chocolate cake. again, I wasn't allowed to know it. My dad wasn't allowed to know it until, again, one year he's like, Mom, you're not going to be here for my kid's birthday, so I'm going to have to make the cake. Can you please send me the recipe? And she goes, yeah, sure. Go into your pantry. Goes into the pantry, grab the Hershey's box, look on the back. Our secret family recipe was the Hershey's chocolate cake. Cake mix. But I do love to cook. I do love to bake. I still do it with my dad a lot.
You know what?
That's
I
awesome.
think she was fibbing, dude. I think there's still a secret recipe out there somewhere.
She's just keeping it from us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know where to add the love, right? What?
She'll hear this episode and call me and be like, you know that's the recipe.
That's it. That's the recipe. I swear. I swear.
That's awesome.
Bless their heart on Top Hill podcast for saying something like that.
Okay. Next question is, tell us about a nightmare gig or something funny or crazy that's happened on
man.
stage.
I started playing in bars when I was like 11 or 12.
Oh,
So,
wow.
I've got a lot of stories. I played a lot of shows where I was the only, or where my mother was the only audience member. Like, I got paid to show up, but nobody else was there. So it was just very confusing. But there was this one gig. It was at a bar. I think I was 13. And I'm playing my first song at the second set. I'm like, hi, I'm Sophia. It's nice to meet you. I'm going to play this song. It's Jolene by Dolly Parton. I start playing it. And this guy is at the back of the bar. And he's facing the bar. So his back is to me. And he just raises his hand like that, holds it there for a second, and then he goes, F this song! You suck! I hate this song! Play something else! I didn't know what to do!
Kick that guy out of the place.
Oh my God.
I said, thank you so much. And then I kept playing.
Oh my gosh, that would be terrible. He was
What a
just a bitter
jerk.
dude
Oh,
who
yeah.
married Jolene and Jolene
Yeah, exactly.
that left him.
Hit a nerve with him or something.
No kidding, 100%.
Wow.
That's terrible.
All
Screw
right.
that guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And okay, last question is, who is the last, we'll normally say local artist, but we'll say Nashville or regional from Murfreesboro that you have seen?
Lately, I've been listening, or is it okay if I say who I've been listening to lately?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's this artist, she's from Charleston, South Carolina, but she's based in Nashville now. And I saw her for the first time at a show in South Carolina. Her name is Hannah Wickland.
Hannah Wickland.
And her band, Hannah Wickland and the Steppin' Stones,
That's a
are
good band name.
folk rock band. They're absolutely incredible. If you want to check out a song,
we
it's
have to
called
check it out.
Bomb Through the Breeze. But she was
Bomb
so
Through the Breeze.
nice to me. Again, another female songwriter who I talked to her after one of her shows at this music conference. I think she was 21 at the time, and I must have been, again, 16. She was so kind to me. She took my card and told me that she would listen to my music. She gave me a free hat with their band's logo on it. And she told me that I was going to succeed. She probably doesn't even remember that, but I do. I still follow you on Instagram, and I love your music.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So yeah, they're a great band.
Awesome. All right. So, well, I guess speaking of great music, want to play us another song?
Absolutely.
All right. What are you going to play for us?
I'm gonna do "Kill the Queen." This is the one coming out this summer. I wish I had a release date, but just pretend that this summer is a specific date.
All right.
The crown and anvil on my head, and then you took the burden, even though I didn't ask you to. And you do your best to save face, take my place, picture of grace. I never saw you coming, dagger in hand, a friend comes running. Kill me, kill me, kill the queen. I'll turn my back, you'll stab me. Guilty, guilty, you if I deserved your cruelty. Why do you look so guilty? I spilled my secret, shared my flaws, then bam, it hit me in the thick of it all. You never cared at all. 'Cause if you did, you'd stop and think, maybe pause for just a minute, baby, sit and find that you had lost your damn mind. Kill me, kill me, kill the queen. I'll turn my back, you'll stab me. Guilty, guilty, looks to me I can't screw you, you already fucked me. I'm numb and alone in my room, no shoulder to cry on, 'cause it was always you if I deserved your cruelty. Why do you look so guilty? Na 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 na. Cry, cry over my dead body. I watch you become a copy. Run, run, escape my fate. I haunt your dreams as you walk away. Cry, cry over my dead body. I watch you become a copy. Run, run, escape my fate. I haunt your dreams as you walk away. Kill me, kill me, kill the queen. I'll turn my back, you'll stab me. Guilty, guilty, looks to me I can't screw you, you already fucked me. I'm numb and alone in my room, no shoulder to cry on, 'cause it was always you if I deserved your cruelty. Why do you look so guilty? Why do you look so guilty? Why do you so guilty? The crown and anvil on my head, and then you took the burden, even though I didn't ask you to.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. I love it.
Started out with the clean version. Halfway through, I forgot about it. So
No, don't worry.
It's all good.
It's a button. No, it was
appreciate
beautiful.
it. Thank
Love
you.
it. Sometimes that word is needed, and it was for that. So
Exactly. That's how I feel. My grandmother didn't feel the same way.
Look, grandmothers mostly don't, especially, you learn that. So, I guess, tell us moving forward, what do you have in store for us? Do you have any shows coming up? Do you have, what are the plans? I know you got a release coming out this summer. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, we're working right now on getting the single cover and the music video finished up, which is
Music
super
video.
exciting.
Oh, hey.
I always feel like more important than I actually am when I get to like do a photo shoot or a music video shoot. I feel very fancy. I've got graduation coming up, which is non-music related, but exciting nonetheless.
Congratulations. That's amazing.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Big,
and then
big
these
stuff.
next couple of months, I'm going to be working on booking some shows. I'll be playing some Nashville venues near you. And also continuing to record my music. So
Awesome.
I'm hoping to get this single out. Like I said, it'll be out in this summer. And hopefully the album will be out before the end of the year. So that's, again, just really exciting stuff.
All right. And to all our listeners that want to find you on the socials, Spotify, where do they look for you?
Yeah, so you can search my name. My mom decided to spell it wrong. It's SOFIA-LYNCH, Sofia Lynch. Or you can find me at sofialynchmusic.com. Sofia Lynch Music on Instagram and TikTok. I'm hilarious over there. Yeah, so basically if you search up Sofia Lynch Music, I will pop up. If you search it with a PH, I can't promise that I will.
So, all right, spell the Sophia one more time.
Sofia.
Sofia. Oh, yeah. Okay, makes sense. All right, look.
Oh, he spelled it with the PH, man.
Sorry about that.
I might walk out of here mad.
Don't you do it.
Look, I spelled it right on the title of the recording right there. Look at that.
I don't see that.
See, because I remembered from Spotify. I remembered.
There you go. Good job, man. All right, so before we let you out of here, you got to play us another one.
Absolutely.
All right, tell us what we're going to hear.
All right. This song is called, I'm going to end actually with a country song.
Right.
This is one that I am not planning on releasing.
Interesting. I like that.
But I played it at the Bluebird. Everybody had fun. I wrote this song when I was 16. It was the first country song I ever wrote. Now I've written a bunch of them. My uncle Mike reached out to me out of the blue. We don't really text. And he said, "Hi, Sophia. You've got to write a song about day drinking." And I said, "Hi, Mike. First of all, I'm 16. Second of all, how are your kids? Like, what's up?" But I ended up writing the song that night when he texted me, and still have not partaken in day drinking. But
you're too young. You're still young.
Yeah, that's when you're over like 30.
Yeah, you get to 30, you'll do some day drinking. Don't worry.
But that's what the song is called, and I hope you guys enjoy it.
Awesome.
I got wine for my sorrows, I got whiskey for my woes, and I'm trying to make it on my own. So I think I'll grab a bottle while I'm thinking about you. For us there's no tomorrow, so I'm day drinking over you. So I can't recall my afternoon, but I remember morning clear as day. You grabbed your boots and went just as quickly as you came. So you don't love me like Jack Daniels, so I guess you couldn't stay. I got wine for my sorrows, I got whiskey for my woes, and I'm trying to make it on my own. So I think I'll grab a bottle while I'm thinking about you. For us there's not tomorrow, so I'm day drinking over you. Sitting by the windowsill, your guitar in my hand, dreaming of the days when I wore your wedding band. And so what if I'm reckless with my drinking